My queen's warning to my ex-girlfriend. It happened on an afternoon I didn't expect. I had just finished a meeting when I saw my queen standing outside the cafe, her arms crossed, her eyes fixed on someone across the street. When I turned to look, my heart sank. It was my ex-girlfriend. I hadn't spoken to my ex in months, and honestly, I had no plans to. But there she was, walking toward us with a smile that felt a little too familiar. My queen didn't move from her spot. She didn't raise her voice, didn't show anger, but there was something in her calmness that felt powerful, like she was in complete control of the moment. When my ex finally reached us, she looked at me first. "It's been a while," she said softly. Before I could answer, my queen stepped forward. "Yes, it has," she replied, her tone even but firm, "and I think it's best it stays that way." My ex blinked, clearly caught off guard. "I just wanted to talk." "Talk about what?" My queen interrupted gently. "Because if it's about the past, he's already left it behind. And if it's about the future, you're not part of it." It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but her words landed like stones dropped in still water. Calm, direct, impossible to ignore. My ex shifted uncomfortably, glancing between us. "I didn't mean anything." "I'm sure you didn't," my queen said, her gaze steady. "But I love him. He's mine, and I'm not sharing space in his life with someone who once broke him." I didn't say a word, not because I was afraid, but because I was stunned at how gracefully she was handling it. She wasn't jealous, she wasn't insecure. She was simply drawing a line and making it clear it wouldn't be crossed. My ex stood there for a moment, clearly unsure whether to stay or walk away. Her eyes flickered with something, maybe regret, maybe pride, but she wasn't ready to give up. She tilted her head and gave a half smile. "You know," she began, looking at me, "there were good times between us. I just thought maybe we could at least be friends." Before I could speak, my queen took a small step closer to her voice still calm. "Friends," she repeated, almost like she was testing the word. "Friends are people you trust, people who add peace to your life, not confusion. He doesn't need friends who left him when he needed love the most." My ex's smile faltered. She opened her mouth to argue, but my queen didn't give her the chance. "I'm not here to compete with memories," she continued. "I'm here to build something real with him. And if you truly cared for him, even as a friend, you wouldn't try to step back into his life now that he's happy without you." It wasn't loud, it wasn't cruel. It was the kind of truth that left no room for games. My ex looked away, her hands tightening around her bag strap. "You're really not going to let me talk to him, are you?" she said quietly. "No," my queen replied simply, "because he doesn't need to hear what you have to say. And I won't let someone who once hurt him think they still have that kind of place in his world." I could feel the tension between them, but also an unshakable respect growing in me for the woman beside me. She wasn't protecting me out of fear. She was protecting me out of love. And it showed in every word. My ex's face shifted from frustration to something almost like acceptance, but not fully. It was as if she still had one last card to play. "You know," she said, glancing at me, "people change. Maybe I've changed too. Maybe I just want to say sorry for everything." I was about to answer, but my queen's hand rested lightly on my arm. A silent way of saying, "Let me handle this." She looked my ex in the eye. Her voice even softer now, but it carried a weight that couldn't be ignored. "If you truly wanted to apologize," she said, "you wouldn't be doing it here, like this, standing between me and him. An apology isn't about winning someone back. It's about setting them free from what hurt them. And right now, you're not setting him free, you're trying to pull him back. The words seemed to hang in the air for a moment. My ex's lips pressed into a thin line. You need to understand something. My queen continued. I'm not here to fight over him. I'm here to walk beside him for the rest of his life. And I'll never let the past distract him from the future we're building. So whatever you think you still have with him, it's over. Completely, the firmness in her tone didn't feel like anger. It felt like truth, a truth that my ex couldn't challenge, because deep down she knew it was real. She shifted her weight, glanced at me one last time, and then she took a step back. Not out of defeat, but out of realization that this door was closed for good. I stood there, watching the scene, and it hit me. My queen wasn't just defending our relationship. She was guarding my peace, my heart, and my future. Once my ex finally walked away, the street felt quieter, like the air had settled. My queen turned to me, and for a moment, she didn't say anything. She just looked into my eyes, almost as if she was checking to see if I was okay. Then she smiled. Not the big, confident smile she had a few minutes ago, but a smaller, softer one. You know, she said, I didn't speak up to make a scene. I spoke up because I know how much you've healed, and I'm not going to let anyone reopen wounds you've already closed. Her words hit me deeper than I expected. It wasn't about jealousy for her. It wasn't about proving anything. It was about protecting the life we were building even from shadows of the past. Love isn't just about holding hands and saying sweet things, she went on. It's about standing guard when someone tries to shake what you've worked for. And if that means I have to stand in front of you sometimes, I will. Every single time. I felt something shift inside me right then. I realized that love like this, the kind that fights for you, not just with you, is rare. And I couldn't stop thinking about how lucky I was that she chose me to stand beside. She reached out, gently touching my face. From now on, she said, you don't even have to worry about who's in your past. I'm your present, and I'm your future. And in that moment, it wasn't just a warning to my ex anymore. It was a promise. One I knew she meant with every part of her heart. That night, after the encounter, I thought the matter was over. We had dinner, laughed a little, and tried to put the day behind us. But the world has a strange way of testing promises, especially the ones made with strong words and a steady heart. It was late, the street lights outside casting soft shadows through the window, when my phone buzzed, one glance at the screen, and my chest tightened. It was her, my ex. A simple message. We need to talk. I'm outside. Before I could even respond, my queen noticed the look on my face. She didn't need to ask who it was. She walked over, took my phone gently from my hand, read the message once, then looked at me with calm determination. Stay here, she said. Her voice was low, not angry, but filled with the kind of quiet strength that makes you feel both safe and curious about what she's about to do. I heard the front door open. Then I heard footsteps, hers moving slowly and firmly toward whoever was waiting outside. I stayed at the window just far enough back so they couldn't see me. There they were. My queen standing tall under the yellow streetlight, and my ex shifting uncomfortably, arms crossed like she was trying to prepare herself for a fight. I couldn't hear every word, but I could read the body language. My queen wasn't yelling. She didn't need to. She was speaking slowly, clearly, the way someone does when they want their message carved into stone. At one point, my ex's posture changed. Her shoulders dropped. Her eyes looked down. Whatever my queen said in that moment, it was enough to take the wind out of her. But my queen wasn't cruel. She didn't walk away until she knew her words were understood. She reached out, touched my ex's arm lightly, not as a gesture of friendship, but as a final sign that this conversation was over. When she came back inside, she shut the door softly and looked at me. "It's done," she said. And there was no doubt in my mind that it truly was. I waited until she sat down before asking, my curiosity burning a hole in me. "What did you say to her?" I asked quietly, almost afraid the answer would be heavier than I expected. She leaned back, took a slow breath, and looked me straight in the eyes. "I told her," she began, "that you are not her story anymore. You're my chapter now, and I will not let her tear out even one page." The way she said it wasn't loud or dramatic. It was the kind of truth that doesn't need volume. Her words had the weight of someone who knows their worth and the worth of the person they love. She told me she made it clear there was no space left for old games, no doors left open for the past to wander through. I told her, she continued, that if she still had something to say, she could speak to the wind, because you won't be listening. I sat there stunned, not just at the boldness of her words, but at the love hidden in them. It wasn't about jealousy, it was about protection. She wasn't fighting for control, she was protecting peace, protecting us. Then she smirked, just a little, and I told her that if she really cared about you, she'd respect your happiness, even if it's not with her. That last line stayed with me. It wasn't a threat. It was a truth my ex had to swallow, and my queen knew exactly how to serve it. When she finished telling me, she leaned over, took my hand, and simply said, "Now we move forward. No looking back." And for the first time in a long while, I felt the past finally close its door behind me.